We are back. It is July 31st, 2025, and your Nashville Stars have a 667 winning percentage and are the best team in Major League Baseball. Um, Probably outperforming. I mean, we're probably outperforming just as much as we were a year ago, and I think that a lot of that has to do with our exceptional bullpen fighting and winning these one-run games and extra inning games. Obviously, we expect that to normalize, but even our Pythagorean record would put us at about the second or third best in baseball. So, I mean, this is a really, really talented group. 68 and 34 overall. Um, Last episode, I think we went over the draft. Not a very exceptional draft, which hurts our 2027 and beyond prospects, but I think for right now, we just have to kind of keep winning the way we're winning. Um, in the week since, we've made some trades to kind of bolster our roster, as with an 18 and a half game lead in late July, we should be pretty safe in locking up a postseason spot. So we've made some moves. Let's see if I can get back to our transactions page. Importance being the team. So we acquired David Bednar. We talked about that in our last video, and he's been turning things around as of late, doing a lot better than he was his first few games with Nashville. Still sporting a 404 BABIP, so clearly luck isn't much on his side. But if he turns that around, gets that to a league average 300, he's going to have himself a heck of a second half here and hopefully a good postseason there for us. The big trade we made, which we gave up a little bit of prospect capital, but I liked Willie Adames at short. I think he was a better option for us than Nick Ahmed from last year, but we shipped him and a load of other players off to Anaheim. We traded Hayden Birdsong, a relief pitching prospect who we acquired last offseason. I don't understand why it keeps shifting. Will Banfield, who we didn't, good catcher ability, but never really saw him as anything more than a career minor leaguer. This is a better way to look at it. Birdsong, Adames, Kevin Biggio, a 4A player for us. Probably could have come up. Clearly, he's up with the Angels. Myver Borges, another minor leaguer looking catcher, still very young, could have some talent, change randomness that could get him up to the big leagues. Second baseman Matt Thomas, also another guy we didn't really see much for, but Alaska Abney, a guy with some decent stuff, but won't be anything more than, I believe, a minor league reliever. And a once upon a time, probably the biggest prospect we acquired in our organization, Kendall George. Incredible speed, incredible range. Going to be even if he gets to these subpar batting ratings, he's going to be a big league center fielder, and he's going to stick there. But his scouting in recent months has just taken a real hit, especially with the bat. And he probably won't be much more than a glove. And, low leader, low work ethic. The personality doesn't foster itself to being a can't-miss prospect. So we were willing to part ways in exchange for a guy in J.P. Crawford who, honestly, his ratings speak for themselves. He was having a subpar season. Also didn't have an amazing year last year with Anaheim, but with this 80 eye and 55 contact and just the bat that he could possess at shortstop, although the defense is probably going to be a bit below average, but as long as he could handle himself at the position, I was real excited about getting a guy that has already put up close to a win in just 19 games with us, 137 WRC plus. Clearly the BABIP is back up. I think if we control his stolen bases a little bit, which I'm going to fix that now, I don't want him stealing that many bases just due to the poor speed. But real excited about this guy. Should be a 350 plus OBP guy. So we're getting a lot more out of our offense at the shortstop position. So gave up quite a bit to get him, but nobody I think is going to ruin our franchise moving forward. And I want to thank Willie Adames for the 1.1 WAR he provided us, although just an 82 WRC plus in 76 games for us. Crawford has put up essentially the same value in 19 games. So pretty happy about that trade, at least for definitely for this season. We made a couple more deals. So we traded Wilyer Abreu and Jojo Romero, who I believe was out of options. Had a very good, very solid year with us. 81 FIP minus league average ERA. If you just look at the FIP based WARs or FWAR, a win above replacement in 39 games with us. So, and he's got some good ratings. So we traded those two for a minor leaguer who, might turn into something already pretty developed, but probably won't. But the main part of that trade was, we'll just go. We got Devin Williams. I believe they're taking on most of his. Yeah, so we don't have to pay anything. Milwaukee's got 80%. The Mets have 20%. We also we traded a nobody relief prospect, but he might turn into something. We also got DeAndre Smith. Who knows? 24 years old, pretty developed, but could be a 4A guy for us. Could be someone that later on might come up when somebody else is hurt if he really develops. But mainly we got this because we essentially got Devin Williams to really bolster our pen, make it, we already had the best bullpen in baseball, but really just give us another weapon we can deploy in October and, free of cost outside of the capital we traded back to the Mets. So happy about that deal. We traded Adrian Morejon just because we're bringing more pitchers in the organization. We were going to need to let guys go. Traded Morejon. He'll do fine in Detroit. Mike Zunino also going to Detroit. Hate giving up a guy with a 70 catcher ability, but in order to kind of clear up some room and potentially get another pitching prospect on board, well, we acquired Hudson Leach, who, he's got 5 big league average pitches or better, with a projection to be 4 well above average big league pitches. If there's any sort of development that can be had on the control front, this guy could turn into a real stud regardless of what this rating here says. Very excited to get this guy. We just need prospect capital in the organization. So I was real excited about that. This trade I wasn't even, too privy on making, but just traded a 24-year-old low level minor league reliever Sam Bauer, who has a decent floor, in exchange for Travis Jankowski, who's going to be essentially a defensive replacement for us and for the rest of the year and through October. Not much value with the bat, but put up a real good season with the glove there for Tampa, and just acquired him for some depth. And as a result of that, Kennedy Corona, guy I was real excited on, taken out of the Rule 5 draft. Scouting went down, didn't have, immense defensive value, and the scouting kind of just kept getting worse. So, he's going to be just below a league average bat, and with no defensive value, he's below a replacement level player. So traded him to Baltimore, and in return, we got good prospect in real life who just got traded to Milwaukee in exchange for Corbin Burns. Joey Ortiz, I think he could be something a bit more than a 4A guy for us moving up and down. I think he might have a role here on our team in the future. Definitely, if there are any injuries, he's going to step up. But, has some versatility in the infield. And, for a guy that was going to be below replacement level, I was happy to get him off the 40 man, get a guy Ortiz who has some infield flexibility. And those were really our moves. Obviously the trade deadline is today, but I think we're pretty set. We know we're going to the postseason. Our bullpen is about as good as you can get. Every one of these guys is just having an incredible year. The only one who might not be having his best season is Brian Abreu, although he's really turned it on as of late. I know he was struggling. That's why we took him out of the stopper role. And, obviously would love some additional starting pitching depth, but we just got Frankie Montas back finally. He's back up in the bigs with two decent outings. So, we have Max Fried. We have Ashby pitching like a borderline Cy Young candidate. And now we got Montas. So we have three legit dudes as well as Pin Hark. I wouldn't expect him to keep up these numbers going forward, but the FIP is incredible. He's not going to walk many guys. So, and then Villalobos just having a great year, outperforming his summary ratings, but pitching up to standard in terms of his basic pitching ratings. So on the pitching front, I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but just kind of bolstered up our bullpen and set us up for to be pretty flexible going into October. And then just taking a quick look at the lineup here, I'm much more excited about. Let's just make sure the scope is on Major League. Addison Barger, one of the better hitting second baseman in all baseball. Bader, if we could just get league average bat out of him, he's going to be an incredible asset. J.P. Crawford now a real offensive plus at the shortstop position. Jankowski, he'll be a backup outfielder and will provide us with real good defense out there. Same with Trevino behind the dish. Tyler O'Neill, hopefully he can turn it on. Projected for 24 homers. Would love him to see him get 30 bombs this year, but regardless, decent bat, especially against lefties. And then Burleson could be a great bat against righties. With these batting ratings, I'd expect the WRC plus to be a little higher, but he's good in the DH hole against righties. Joe Adell, 115 WRC plus, can't be mad at that. David Villar, Jose Ramirez, would love him to turn it on, especially, he's nowhere near performing up to his ratings right now. And even the BABIP, man, the BABIP is kind of where it should be. And so, that's a little discouraging, but who knows? He could have a hot August and September, and we won't be talking about that anymore. And then Eddie Julian, tough year, but he's turning it around. Blake Hunt, 31 WRC plus backup catcher. What are you going to do? 65 catcher rating. So when we need him, at least we got more defense behind the dish. Look, Juan Soto is the one guy on the trade block who I've been looking at for quite a bit right now. Let me go to, let's just see, make a trading block. There's just no way we can get him. We don't have the prospect capital, but that would be incredible. Really, really turn ourselves into a contender. I know it's silly saying turning ourselves into a contender when we're the best team in baseball, but we're certainly not the most talented team in baseball, and we might be one of the luckier teams in baseball thanks to our bullpen. Chas McCormick was a guy I was looking at. I just don't see him performing up to these ratings moving forward, and San Diego was looking for quite a bit for him. Anthony Rendon, clearly in the news as of late for not liking baseball. But yeah, with this contract and this productivity, just not going to go after him. So now we're looking at all batters. So let's bring the pitchers in here real quick. The bullpen's kind of set. Gosman, I believe I put out an offer to the Angels, and yeah, they were just asking for too much, especially with these ratings. Yeah, I just didn't think I was going to be able to get Gosman and moving pieces around. I was trying to look for some prospect for prospect switches, but didn't find anything else that I liked. Kind of just tried to get Leach in that one trade where we traded Morahone. Um, just liked his pitch mix. Yeah, I really don't think. Obviously we'll look at the waiver wire in the coming days. Nothing too attractive. Tim Herron, that's an okay reliever. Reynaldo Lopez, okay reliever. Arias, guy with good defensive value, but and some versatility, and that might be appealing. But I think we're kind of set. Um, let's just look at our upcoming schedule here real quick. Uh, So we played Toronto, won a 1-0 ball game yesterday where Pinja and Hark went 5 strong. And then we got Fairbanks and Williams on the back end. Just another 1-win game. We're winning. We'll play Toronto again today. In August, we play LA at home, Miami at home. And then we have a long road trip, about a 2-week road trip. So hopefully just stay above water for that. August, a lot of road games, as you can see. September, we're back at home a little bit more, but we're up 18 and a half games, and I think we're going to be rolling right into October, just hoping to secure ourselves a first round bye, give ourselves an opportunity to advance a little farther this year than last year. Yeah, I mean, ticket sales, the fan interest has been incredible. We're up. Our average ticket price is about 40% higher than last year, 45% more revenue. If we look at our accounting real quick, yeah, and this will go up because of postseason revenue. So, very excited, very, very happy I can afford to invest $27 million in player development. So hopefully some of these guys can start becoming top 100 prospects. Real excited about Jaron DeBerry. Obviously wish the ERA was better in AAA, but 78 fit minus, that's kind of more what I'm looking at. Obviously getting some batted ball luck with the 354 BABIP. But yeah, I mean, these ratings are good enough to start in the big leagues here pretty soon. And then Schreier, he's going to be a high floor, low ceiling guy. Getting that in the second round isn't too bad, I don't think. And he should be up at some point next year. And obviously, if there's injuries, maybe sooner. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much going to be the video. Why don't we just sim? I don't even feel like I need to make any more trades. Yeah, I'm going to continue anyways. That's fine. I think we made all the trades we needed to. And we're just going to look at the waiver wire up into this coming week. Okay, saving. And we're going to get a prospect update here, and I'll end the video on that. But yeah, I'm very excited, very grateful that an expansion team, when I first did the expansion draft back in the beginning of 2024, or I guess the end of 2023, kind of expected a bit of a rough patch for these next couple of years, but obviously built the team with the intention of, I guess we're not getting a prospect update. All right, did save, and we got another win, 69 and 34. Aaron Ashby continuing to pitch like a top 10 Cy Young candidate. Won't win it. He won't win it. I don't think he'll have the innings totals. He might if he stays healthy, but there's going to be some guy with a 6 or 7 WAR. So, like I said, just very grateful that the team is playing as well as they are. built the team with winning in the near future in mind, but obviously you have plans and then you have reality, and didn't expect the team, especially with a lot of these preseason predictions, to be competing for anything more than second or third place in the division, and to be on track here to win the division 2 years in a row in our first two seasons is very exciting. Am I worried about the future of our team? Absolutely. Um, we have very limited prospect capital, and it's just unfortunate when your second overall pick doesn't want to be a part of the organization, would rather play basketball, and so that kind of sets an expansion team back. But I'm confident in our scout. I'm confident in our ability to sign these international minor leaguers, and hope that we can maximize the talent we have on the big league roster right now, and work on extending some of these guys until our international prospects are good enough for us to start competing in these lower level minors. I know a lot of these records are pretty ugly, and then B, obviously get to the point where they come up and impact the big league club. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching and just supporting. I don't care if it's one person watching or 100 or however many people decide to watch this, but I appreciate it. I appreciate having the platform to talk about the ways I think about the game, and building a good organization from the ground up. And so thank you guys for watching, and I will be back next week with the Nashville Stars, probably looking at another postseason berth. Alrighty, take care.